Weep Ninny Bong, and welcome back to my channel where we look at all things Transformers and Transformers action figures related. And today on my channel we're going to take a look at another one of the TFC Poseidon crew. Today we're going to take a look at Bigbite. So this is TFC's take on Skalor, and it's like a mutant piranha type thing with arms and stuff. I think it looks absolutely sick. This is part of a combiner collection, so if you want to go and check out the rest of the figures that I've reviewed so far, you can check them here. They'll come up here in a lovely little link, and you can go and check out the playlist. First up, as we always do on this channel, let's take a quick look at the packaging, and this is awesome packaging, as it has been throughout this series. TFC definitely do some beautiful packaging. So this dude is obviously called Bigbite, and this is their take on Skalor. So it says on the front here, he becomes a robot, a weapon, a monster, and combine. Bigbite. So it's PPO, it's P003, this is the third one that they released. Poseidon on the top, beautiful kind of drawn, or computerized drawn artwork there on the front. And then on the top we have the multiple variants of what this dude can become, from a weapon to a monster to a bot to a leg to an arm, because they do use the old kind of way of the scramble way of combining on these, the same way as the original combiners were made, obviously apart from Devastator. Then we have the robot mode here on the side. On the back we've got the fully drawn, hand-drawn version of Poseidon, which I'm so close. We're so close to finishing this dude now, so close, with his big old swords. And then you also get his strength and his abilities and things like that on the top as well. On this side we get an alt mode picture and Poseidon, and then on the bottom it tells you, warning, don't eat your children because they have small parts. What I do really like with these figures when we open this up is this beautiful, beautiful packaging. That everything comes in on the outside is equaled by the lovely foam packaging that comes on the inside. So opening up the foam packaging on the inside, you can see we do get another one of these cards here, which we get with quite a lot of third-party figures. We can see that Bigbite has a beautiful hand-drawn artwork on the front, and then on the back we get his stats of his strength, his intelligence, his speed, his rank, his courage, his endurance, his fire blast, and his skill. The only thing that I do think just fails a little bit is the cards from TFC, because they are just card, they're not the really nice laminate ones. But yeah, still very very nice card there. We get destructions. The destructions are in just the booklet format that I don't really like. And also the dude comes in the bot mode, which is nice, but the destructions always on these go from the alt mode. Find the destructions here. The destructions always go from the alt mode to the bot mode, so it means that the first time you have to do this, you have to work backwards through the destructions, which always pisses me off. Also, you get a very nice comic book within this as well. Once I get the full set, I'll be able to take a full look at the comic and how that goes from the start to the finish, because each one has a separate section of the comic. Everything else you can see comes neatly packed away in this lovely foam. This dude comes with the hand accessory for Poseidon that has this beautiful looking spike, fully articulated hand, which is always nice, and thumb articulation on this as well. We also get a joint here that's going to kind of hold everything together and support the movement in and around the arm. So we'll see how well it holds together. I do feel I haven't put anything together yet. Obviously, I've said in a video before that I am concerned around these joints, that I don't feel that it might have the strength in them to really be, you know, a great combiner, but we will see. I hope that it does have the great strength. Then it also comes with the swords, so we'll take another look at these later on, which shine away on my lights there. Very nice. And also comes with guns for him to have. These are always open with this, and you can take the larger gun part out here, so it folds out with the little handle that sticks up there. So the guns are really nicely detailed, really nicely painted as well. Love all the weapons that these ones come with. Now let's take a look at the main event himself. Let's take a look at Bigbite, aka Skalor, and this is another incredible alt mode from the guys over at TFC. Absolutely adore this. Again, we can have a look at all of the molded detailing as we go through. The lovely pink, the blues, the greys, so that real kind of aquatic feel to it when you look at it. The blue is very marine, kind of sea blue. Lovely translucent here on the tail with lots of molded detailing as well on the tail as we go through. Lovely translucent plastic, kind of a pinky type plastic as we go through. I love these little translucent baubles as we go through this as well. Molded detailing galore on this, and I love the fact these turn into beasts, but these look like robotic beasts. I think I say this every time, that Beast Wars all look like this, because I'd like Beast Wars a lot more if they stayed as robot modes, and this just looks absolutely incredible. This is all molded plastic. There's not much paint on this bad boy. His teeth are painted. One thing about these figures, all the TFC figures are extremely sharp. All these teeth, all the points, everything on this, very sharp as we go through it. These claws, translucent claws here, very sharp as well, so just watch yourself when you're transforming this dude, because yeah, you could damage yourself, and if he takes a bite out of you, that's gonna be a proper painful jobby. So quickly now look at the articulation on this. In this mode, you get, let's start at the back. You get some really nice articulation on the tail. One thing I don't like about this one, the tail doesn't seem to go in too well. I mean, it has this tab, but the tab's fairly loose on it, so you do have to kind of be careful. If you over articulate the tail, it will untab, but you can twist it, you can move it, you can do whatever you want with the tail and get really nice pose, and it holds the pose as well. It's really stiff joints, so it's very cool. The legs articulate here at the bottom. These are actually on tabs, so this actually holds part of the body together. So you'll get some nice articulation there, and you get some toe articulation here as well. You get at the arms, you get some articulation, but again, it's got this very small tab just here where you have to tab the arm in, so if you over articulate it, this tab does come out. He will hold poses, but you just have to be careful, and you can get a full 360 just about rotation and keep that tab in. You claws articulate, and you get some articulation at the arm, and you can get some slight maneuverability, but as you can see, it does untab fairly often. The mouth, Bigbite, wouldn't be Bigbite or Skalor without having a big mouth that articulates, and you get some articulation in the teeth, so you can pose his teeth however you want his teeth, which is pretty nice. Only challenge I have with this figure, mine doesn't seem to tab together here on the bottom. I'm not quite sure why. Also, I think that I'm supposed to put these underneath here, but I'm worried about scratching these bits here, so that's just something on mine. Other than that, really cool, really nice looking figure. The posability on it is a little bit limited because he's a little bit top heavy, so you can get some nice poses, but you know, he can only really stand in a certain way, really, and that's about it. That's all you're gonna get. Something that I do love doing with these figures is hitting them up with a black light, and they do look pretty menacing in black light because that translucentness just really manages to stick out when you put these dudes underneath a black light. I think these look really cool. So if you have any if you have a black light on in your house and you really want to show these figures off, they look pretty damn good. So at this point I would usually show you the accessories, and he does come with accessories, but none of the accessories work with him when he's in his piranha fishy thingy mode. So we'll go straight on to his comparison, and first of all let's bring out my favourite figure still of this set so far, and that is 1000 Kills, aka Tentakill, so that we can see how they look together. And these two look really good together. The colour schemes on both of these figures actually really do look great together. I absolutely adore the 1000 Kills, aka Tentakill, that you get with this. I think it's just one of the most incredible figures in my collection. Then we can bring out Lobclaw as well, and we can see how they look together. Lobclaw, a little bit disappointing, certainly in this mode, just because it's difficult to kind of put them together. And then Cyberjaw, who's very similar in the way that he stands, with his hands coming up at the front and his head sticking over there. So you can see how they look together, and what a beastly looking team they are. And then just to show him next to some of the Kingdom figures and some of the War for Cybertron figures, so next to a Cyclonus we can see how big he is. So he's a big old fish next to a Cyclonus. But hey, it could work, you know, the size. Who knows how big the scary fish are in the big old Cybertronic universe. And then next to Mirage, we can see that he's very big next to Mirage too. Okay, so transformation time on this dude. The first thing you're going to do is get these old teethies and put the little teethies in, and put these other teeth in as well, just to flatten everything out along here. And you can also at this point put the claws in, seeing as we are here. Then we're going to look to separate the head out a little bit and unpeg this section here. Next up we can come to the side, and then this kind of loosens everything up. So this is that peg I was talking about before, which is why you can't get too much movement out of these legs, because that actually holds all of this together. And lift up this section and lift up this section too, and loosen off everything down the sides. Once we've loosened everything off down the sides, we can just bring this out and out. Yeah. So just, yeah, and unfold the head. You can take the leg back at this point as well, so that you've got that there, and then you can really open up this panel here. So once you've got the leg kind of opened up in this panel here, we can stretch the legs out. I really like the way that the teeth almost become kind of knee guards here. It looks pretty funky. Looking at the leg, you're gonna fold the bottom of the mouth in, and then fold it flat against the leg, and then everything will just fold in. This can then tab around the back into place where it was before, and then you can just turn this round and you can see that little tab there, and then that becomes the foot. turn it around and do exactly the same on the other side. Fold it in on itself and then close this off. Put this one in that little hole there, and then fold this section over itself, and then you've got your feet. So we can see the bottom half is done. All that remains then is the top section, so you can just bring this down, turn that flat like this, move this down so you've got the whole section there done. Push this, if you push this out as well, pull it out, and then you can get the head out of this section here. It's a little bit, pull this forward, it's a little bit of a challenge to get some of these heads out sometimes. The gap is very, very, very small. There we go. You can get it out. You may need to get yourself a little tool to pull this little head out. And then we've got the head, we've got everything, and then we can just bring the arms up, up, and then. So now here we have our fully transformed Bigbite, and I have to say that I really like this bot mode here. I think he looks really nice. The transformation is very simple on this one. Some of these figures have had overly complicated transformation, but this dude transforms really nicely, really cleanly, and looks beautiful in this mode. Really, really cool. Tail just hanging off down the back, so he does have a little bit of a backpack, but all this molded detail, and I love the way that the face kind of stays as part of the legs. I think that just sets it off so beautifully. Awesome light piping as we go through this figure. He has that kind of light piping through his head, which just looks incredible. And then on the sides as well, they always have these kind of translucent, luminous yellow pieces and green pieces and stuff, and it just really sets the figure off nicely. I love all the translucent that we get on these figures. Absolutely fantastic. Molded detailing, color changes between kind of a pink and a kind of a really, really light blue as we go through the figure. Absolutely gorgeous. Really nice spikes here on the front. Very kind of worried about these spikes as we do the transformations, because as I showed you before, can't quite get the transformation to work around that section, and if I do, it seems to damage these spikes a little bit. So I'm okay with it not being like that. They're mainly going to live in their combiner mode for me anyway. Articulation wise, we get a full 360 on the head, and he can look up and he can look down, he can look up, he can look down, and full 360 on the head. And then at the arms, we get some nice arm movement here at the top of the arm. Also, then you can get a full 360, and you can get all the way stretch out as you need. Full twist at the elbow, and an overextension here as well as needed. The hand twists, but you don't get any finger articulation here. You get some articulation here to move these around as you want, depending on whatever kind of look that you want. At the hips and the waist, so you have to move a lot of the crap out the way. He does have a bit of a backpack, but you will get a full 360 from his waist. No ab crunch. And I have to say, when we get down here, these ratchets here, they're a little, some of these, it's really, with this set so far, the ratchets around the hips have been I would say uneven in the quality and strength of them. So this one out is fine. Side to side, you can just feel they're a little bit weak. They do hold, you know, they do kind of hold, and they'll hold positions like so. But when you kind of messing around with it, you do just feel it's a little bit loose. So you'll get a full back and forth swing, and then out to the side is really, really nice. I think we'll get a good old ninja kick from this dude. He does have a bit of a big backpack though, so maybe we won't, but he has got some bigger. Yay! We'll get a good old ninja kick out of this dude, which is nice. We'll get an extension here at the knee. You'll get a leg twist as well. And then we'll also get some toe articulation, so you can manipulate this. This actually has lots of points of articulation on the feet, which is nice. So you can just articulate it and get whatever poses you really want out of this dude. So yeah, all round articulation wise, pretty damn good. Now, as promised, let's move on to his accessories. And first of all, we get these lovely looking swords. We took a look at these before, but they are very, very nice. This pink matches the pink, so it's good that he is color coordinated. And we have this silver flash that kind of catches the light and looks really, really nice as we go through it. Nice molded detail and together that kind of leather look on the handle as well, really like that. And these just fit into his hands and just give him the kind of two swords, two blade look here, which is pretty funky. And his arms do have the strength to kind of put them in whatever position you want, even though these are very big swords. He'll hold them in whatever position you want, so that's always good. Next up, we have his twin lasers, so you can just separate these here, and then as with all of these guns, you kind of transform them by going on the inside and pushing out the handle and pulling out this. So they should end up like this. As always, really nicely molded. Love the flashes of silver as we go through this. The aqua blue against the grey. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Light blue, not aqua blue, sorry. And then we'll also do the same here. These can be a little fiddly to get this handle out sometimes, but then he can just hold it in one hand and he holds it in the other hand. Just straight up pegs, no problem at all with these. I never find any issues with these guns and putting them in, and he looks, yeah, pretty brutal with his double guns. So now time for the comparison, and first of all we'll bring out Cyberjaw here, which was I reviewed not so long ago, and you can see that they're about the same height. Obviously these are can be legs, arms, everything, so all these figures really have to kind of come in at the same height, I guess, so that they can all be equal, looking very, very nice together. We can also bring in their version, their take on Lobclaw, and we can see here that Lobclaw looks really nice with the rest of them. And then for the final comparison, we can bring out what is still my favorite figure, 1000 Kills, aka Tentakill. Still my favorite figure at the moment from this set. Quick comparison next to some of your other figures. So if we bring in Cyclonus from the Kingdom line, you can see that he is a little bit smaller than your standard Voyager size figures. So depending on what size you believe the Seacons should be, then this is I think they look okay with the Siege and with the Kingdom and the Earthrise figures. Hopefully the Combiner will fit in as well. And then finally, to bring out a Deluxe, so you can see the size difference there. On the Deluxe figures, you can see there is Mirage, and you can see, yeah, there's a big height difference there, so these dudes are much, much bigger. Final thoughts then on Bigbite, and yeah, I'm super hyped to complete this set now. This is a really, really nice figure. My only challenge is the loose hips on this dude. They're not overly loose, they just feel a little bit loose compared to some of the other ones during this set, but he looks beautiful. 2 more to go and then we can build Poseidon. Let me know your thoughts on this dude down in the comments. Personally, I think he works well as part of the set, or if you do just want to pick this up because he looks cool as hell. I'll see you in my next video. Alright guys, in a bit. Peace!